Is Broadcom becoming the Uncle Sam of AI, an indispensable supplier for the artificial intelligence revolution? This week, a shaky start for the stock reversed dramatically into a powerful rally, fueled by stunning spending announcements from some of tech's biggest names. This left investors asking, was this a breakout moment for the chipmaker, or just a short-term reaction? The week's events have certainly sharpened the focus on the company's central role in the AI infrastructure buildout. Introduction. Welcome to TickerWatch News for Broadcom, Week 6, 2026. This is the weekly podcast that cuts through the noise to bring you the essential news and developments for Broadcom. This week, we're looking at massive AI spending plans, key analyst upgrades, and new product announcements that shaped a volatile but ultimately positive week for the company. Stock snapshot. Broadcom stock experienced a turbulent week, reflecting wider market anxieties before finishing on a high note. After starting the week on a downward trend that saw the price dip below $310 on regulatory concerns, the stock surged late in the week to close around the $333 mark. This represents a remarkable rally of approximately 8% on Friday alone, which occurred on notably high trading volume. The broader market context was historic, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average closing above the 50,000 mark for the first time. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ also posted strong gains to end the week, with the semiconductor sector leading the charge. The key takeaway is that despite early week jitters, powerful news about AI spending helped Broadcom finish the week with significant momentum. Top news and headlines. The single biggest story driving Broadcom this week was the deluge of AI spending commitments from cloud and internet giants. Alphabet, the parent company of Google, announced plans for capital expenditures in 2026 to be between $175 and $185 billion. This followed a similar announcement from Amazon, which guided for $200 billion in spending this year. These figures represent one of history's largest AI infrastructure buildout. Broadcom is a key beneficiary, as it's a critical partner co-designing and supplying custom AI accelerators known as Tensor Processing Units, or TPUs, for Google. Reports noted Broadcom had already secured $21 billion in orders from Google in the last 2 quarters of 2025. Reinforcing this narrative, Broadcom's own guidance points towards significant acceleration. The company has projected its own AI revenue to hit $8.2 billion in the first quarter of fiscal year 2026, which would be a 100% increase year over year. The company's AI-related order backlog now sits at over $73 billion, providing visibility for the next 18 months. Broadcom also expanded its product portfolio by introducing what it calls the industry's first enterprise Wi-Fi 8 platform. The new access points and switches are designed for AI-focused business networks, giving the company another avenue to capitalize on AI-heavy workloads in office, campus, and industrial settings. However, the week wasn't without its challenges. Earlier, on February 4th, the stock price fell around 4%. This dip was attributed to reports that the U.S. government was extending its review of export license applications for high-end AI chips to China, creating uncertainty for major exporters and highlighting ongoing geopolitical risks. Finally, in legal news, Broadcom resolved a dispute with Fidelity Investments. The lawsuit, related to access to VMware software following Broadcom's acquisition, was voluntarily dismissed. This removes a point of uncertainty regarding a major customer relationship. Market reaction and investor sentiment. Wall Street analysts reacted with strong optimism to the week's news flow, particularly the hyperscaler spending plans. Wolfe Research upgraded Broadcom to outperform with a $400 target price. Jefferies reiterated its buy rating, setting a $500 target price. Overall, the analyst consensus rating is a strong buy, with an average target price near $455, suggesting significant upside potential from the week's closing price. The sentiment was decidedly bullish, with one analyst from Mizuho calling the stock's valuation a gift for investors with a long-term perspective. Other reports referred to Broadcom as the primary pick-and-shovel play for AI boom. One firm, Futurum Equities, even labeled Broadcom the Uncle Sam of AI, implying it acts as the essential toll collector for the entire AI stack. This positive sentiment was also reflected in institutional activity, with reports noting that ARK Invest purchased approximately $50.74 million worth of Broadcom shares after a recent pullback. The stock's strong upward move late in the week directly aligned with this flood of positive news and analysis. Technical and fundamental check-in. From a technical perspective, Broadcom stock had been in a pullback period, retreating more than 20% from its 52-week high of over $412 set in December 2025. The stock appeared to find a floor earlier in the week before launching a strong rally on high volume, suggesting a potential reversal of the recent downtrend. On the fundamental side, the narrative is one of explosive growth potential balanced against notable risks. The primary growth driver is Broadcom's central role in the AI buildout, supplying both custom chips and critical networking components. The integration of VMware is continuing to be a key part of its software infrastructure story. However, there are questions around profitability. Some analysts noted that the higher mix of AI-related hardware could pressure consolidated gross margin percentages, which are lower than the company's software business. In response, management has indicated they are focused on operating leverage, suggesting that total gross margin dollars and operating profit dollars are expected to rise, even if the margin percentage dips. Other flagged risks include customer concentration, with a heavy reliance on a small number of hyperscalers for its AI revenue, and the persistent overhang of geopolitical tensions, especially concerning trade and technology exports to China. What to watch next week? Looking ahead, the most important date on the calendar for investors is Wednesday, March 4th. That's when Broadcom is scheduled to announce its first quarter fiscal year 2026 financial results and business outlook. Investors and analysts will be watching closely for updates on AI revenue growth, the current size of the order backlog, and commentary on the ongoing integration of VMware. The bull case for the stock centers on AI demand continuing to exceed already high expectations and a smooth execution of its software strategy. The bear case would involve any signs of a slowdown in hyperscaler spending, increased competition in custom chip space from rivals like MediaTek, or an escalation of geopolitical trade restrictions that could impact sales. Market watchers will be monitoring if the stock can build on its recent momentum and begin to challenge its previous highs. Outro. Thank you for tuning in to TickerWatch. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Please be sure to subscribe to the podcast and feel free to leave a review or share the episode. We'll be back next week with the latest on Broadcom.